It's Friday. Frankie's with me, hammering it out. Frankie, hammering it out again. And I hope we're hammering it out in a fairly nice mood today. I'm hoping that we've had a big news this week that we're going to go into shortly. But how's your week been, mate? Good?
The week has been, steady, mate. Steady. Busy. All right. Not too many dramas this week, which is a welcome change. So, no, it's been good, mate. It's been good.
Yeah, because I think, we're coming up to August, which is usually holiday season everywhere, isn't it? So, children's schools, have they closed now? I think so.
Yeah, schools are closed, mate. Yeah, everyone's on half term, so the roads are quieter, so that's good. So, yeah, no, it's all good, mate.
Roads are quiet, but the houses are more noisy, yeah?
And this is it. I'm shipping them off to Greece, so I'm having a week on my own, mate. So they're all going out to Greece, so they can go and do what they've got to do, and I'm staying here for a bit of peace and quiet. So
whereabouts? Is it an island, Greek island they're going to?
I have no idea, mate. It just said I need a bit of space, and so off they go.
I've been Zante, a lovely island, famous for where the turtles go to lay eggs and stuff. Yeah, Zante is nice. I've been to Rhodes, the notorious, 18 to 30 Falaraki back in the day. Nice. I went back to Rhodes with the wife a couple of times. So, yeah, Greece is nice, mate. Nice.
I'm thinking I might use my time. I was just going to chill out indoors, mate, but I'm half tempted to pop over to Malta for a little bit. I've never done Malta before, and my friend who's over there is on annual leave, so I might have a few days out in Malta, so that might
That is weird. I've been thinking about that for 2 weeks. I haven't been there, and I've heard it's really nice, but not too much to do. So if you're looking for a whole week of different stuff, you might not find it. But yeah, you have to tick the bucket list, mate, don't you? Malta.
Good if you like a casino, mate, I believe.
Right. It's got that major square marina type area in the centre. There was
good golf courses and loads of casinos. So
I think it was quite a famous location in World War II for various reasons, Malta. Only because I used to follow snooker back in the day. I know all these silly things. I think Tony Drago, a lot of you might not know, he was from Malta. But apart from that, you don't really hear much. But
no, that's right.
Really. Lots of people in the chat waiting. We'll come over to you shortly. So get your questions in for Frankie in the chat, mate. You know, while you've got him here, I've got
a lot of people upset at the moment. There's a few that are rattling. So I'm looking forward to them, mate. I'm looking forward to them.
Listen, since I think something's happened to this channel last month. I don't know what it is. It could be Frankie's aftershave. It could be my dear. It's gone through the roof. And it's gone so much through the roof that when you talk about, I don't look at subs. I had a look yesterday and I nearly fell off my chair. It's gone up 30% last 4 weeks. It's gone so, you're going to laugh now, Frankie. Some of the big channels are in the chat watching, seeing what's going on. They're in the chat, not finding out what is Jazz doing. Is he taking his top off, dancing around the room? What's going on? So it's good to be noticed. And I think we're the fastest growing channel. And I was told Frankie about 2 months ago, we went down a different direction. It's working really well. So thank you again, Frankie. You're part of the new thing that we're going to be doing going forward, and I think it is working well. Yeah.
No, it's brilliant, mate. And just a bit of difference, in terms of types of content. Straight talking, mate, is what it's all about. And just a bit of, I don't know, just a few different points of view, I think is really good and refreshing and just gives a different take on things. So, no, mate, I think it's all justified with all the extra, growth that you're seeing and success that you're seeing. And don't put any of it down to me, mate. It's 100% all down to your hard work and efforts, my man. So keep it up, mate, because I enjoy listening back and you do some shows during the week and I enjoy tuning into them, mate. So, yeah, keep it motoring.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, Ian, how you doing, mate? Luke Shaw. Ian, straight away in there with a question before we even get down to our criteria. I saw that name last night. Again, I don't think he fits the current manager's criteria. Really had a fabulous Euros, if I remember. Really played well that season. Lost the much required weight, I think, in the end. And Costa bombed any back in the day from, I think it was Southampton, I can't remember. But Luke Shaw, for you, top of your head, mate? I don't
know. Don't know. What's he got left in him? I'm not totally sure. He done all right for United. He obviously peaked in the Euros and done really well for England. But I don't know. on loan, I think it's a sensible loan, mate. If the money's run out and there's not, nothing left to spend and it's cover for that position, then I don't think it can be a bad thing. Experience, someone who's been there, seen it and done it, experience in Europe, I think he would be good cover. And I think that would be all right. So, yeah.
Cool. Yep. So, Ian, we wouldn't say no, but we'll have to look into his fitness and obviously the wages and the loan fee. Because, sometimes the loan fees are hefty and you lose 5 million up to 5 million and the guy's gone. So we'll have a look at Daniel. How are you doing, mate? Afternoon, mate. How would you rate the window out of 10 so far? I cannot yet give it more than 6, even though we're strengthening. Again, Daniel, I think you got to mark it at the end of the window. For me, we've spent 80 million, which I think me and Frankie would have fallen off our chair. I think we would have been happy with that. So, but Frankie will kind of take it on from now. But for me, Frankie, it's 80 million so far, and there's no sign of it stopping, mate. So it is surprising. Frankie, how do you think it's gone so far?
Yeah, but I think Daniel's spot on. I think a 6 out of 10. Like I say, people moan at me because they think that I'm miserable. I'm not miserable.
Grounded, aren't you?
Grounded.
Yeah.
I would say that this is the expected window that I would want to see from West Ham every single window. Every single window. We haven't pulled up massive trees yet. Scamacca came from Sassuolo. We've signed a striker from Sassuolo. We've signed a French defender that nobody knew about. We've signed our second string goalkeeper from last year. We've signed a geezer from Swansea. That is an average West Ham window. My expectations for West Ham is that every single summer. That is what it should be, probably at a minimum, I would say. So I think we've achieved my minimal expectations that West Ham should deliver every single summer transfer window currently. But if they go and get Kostic, Zielinski's looking like that's all done and dusted now, and that's not going to be happening. But if they then go and sign an Onana, or they go and sign one of the other players, and they go and sign a left back, then all of a sudden it's a really, really good window. And at that point, I would be saying it's 8, 9 out of 10, really solid window, really good window, and certainly, is beyond my expectations. The only reason this is beyond my expectations at the minute is because of our track record with our owners in transfer windows. Not because this is beyond what I expect from West Ham. It's beyond what I expect from our owners previously. So that's where I am with it. But I think Daniel's absolutely right there. In terms of a West Ham United window, what I would expect, taking our owners out of the equation, this is probably the minimum I would expect from West Ham.
I think, like you said, the bar's going higher and higher, and it seems like everyone is going to be spending about 100 million minimum. So that's the new kind of height and bar, whereas we've been used to 30, 40, 50 million. So Daniel, let's judge it at the end of the window, but then Frankie's right. What I've been saying, it's catch up. We're playing catch up still. Didn't do nothing last window. Okay, got Zuma over the line, but messed up with Vlasic, even though we did. Yeah, it was a large sort of fee signing and things like that, really. So it's catch up time. It's required surgery. We've lost 11 players out the door. So it is what we need, isn't it, really, to put bare minimum squad out there, really.
Yeah.
Dan, how you doing, mate? Dan, Kostic will be a huge signing for Moyes. I tell you what, some of these names have come out the blue. I wasn't even looking or thinking about these guys. What surprises me, Frankie, about Kostic is that he's 29, I think, 28, 29. That doesn't fit into perhaps what we were looking to do with our squad age. He's a wing back. Not really a left back if you want to play him in the flat back four, and we'll go to the formation a bit later on. But for Kostic, for me, if he comes in, it could be slightly more attacking way that Moyes will be looking at it. I think certainly we need more width down the side. We've seen that last season, more assists and crosses, I think. So Kostic for you, mate, yes or no? Were you looking at him? He came out of nowhere, didn't he? Really?
No, but I do think he's the sort of player we need down the left-hand side, mate. I think we've lacked someone with who's a bit dynamic, someone who gets his head down and wants to attack and wants to, get at teams. I think we really lack that. I think Bowen brings that from the right, but I think from the left, I think when we try and sort of fit a Fornals in that role, or we try and fit a Benrahma in that role, or play Lanzini out there, they're not the right type of players to be playing there. They always want to come inside. They're not going to get down the line, beat a player, whipping across. So, as much as, he's not 100% perfect, mate, I certainly think he's an improvement on what we've got now. and I think he will add balance to the squad. So I would be very happy to see him come in, to be honest.
And some of these signings and sort of players we've been linked with, and the number of players we've been linked with, it kind of tells me it was kind of true when David Moyes was, like you said, very temperamental after December, not happy, fuming about, even after Brighton a couple of games, he said, you guys are not good enough next season, you guys better watch out. So I think it's all on the back of, like, he obviously a bit late, but he did kind of realise and admit we need a shake-up, don't we? We need a number of players coming in who are, yeah, like you said, more creativity off you. It's like the games, I keep saying, it's the games 0-0 last season, and there was no plan B, nothing on the bench, same way of playing, but with all these players like Scamacca, Zielinski, and this boy Kostic, you're getting a different avenue, aren't you, of a guy who's got good assist, and you've got a big guy up front. It's just different ways of scoring. Like we've seen over the years as West Ham fans, we've been dominating a game with 1-0 up. That other team do one set piece, bang, it's 1-1. So I think you need all different ways to score, create, and provide different formations. You can play flat back 4-4-2-3-1, wing back. So I think that's all kind of what we need if we want to kick on even more, really. Tony's asking, how's Bazza, I think, mate, if you've heard from him.
Bazza, I haven't heard from him much myself. He's very, very busy working. It's really good to see. He's got a lot on. I think his business is going from strength to strength at the moment. And the fact that, not many people are hearing from him because he's actually, really busy and doing well, then that's a really good thing. So hopefully he's smashing it out there, mate, which is what it's all about.
Yeah, let me just catch up with a few things. Kostic. There we go. There I am. Okay. Hello from Malta. You're in Malta. we're getting fans from
there you go, mate. There you go.
From all over the place, mate. God, brilliant, mate. Richie Rich, how you doing, sir? You all right, mate? Yeah, excited to see Scamacca. Who else do you think we will get? Straight to you, Frankie, mate. Who else do you think's going to come through the door, mate?
I still think Diaz is just a done deal. I've always felt that throughout the whole of this window. I just think he is just a million on to be a West Ham player. So I think it will come late. I think it'll be one that gets over the line sort of late in the day. But I still think Diaz is a guarantee to come through the door. Aside from that, it's tough, mate. What I do like is that until there's really firm links to players now, we don't normally hear too much, which is really good. It makes a really nice change. So, there might be some surprises, mate. There might be some surprises. A lot of people are touting that we might get some loans in. A lot of players are saying that there might be other things on the horizon. So, Zielinski, it's a shame that we're too far apart. I think he would have been a good fit at West Ham, but so that one's done. Kostic, I still think would be really nice to come through the door. Anana, a lot of back and forth going on there at the moment. I just think that seems to be sort of fading, if you like. That seems to be sort of fizzling out a little bit. So I'm not too sure whether he's going to be the man or not. I really don't know, mate, but I still would like this left back situation addressed. What you just said there, i.e. different ways of playing, I think is really important. It would be really nice to see West Ham actually think about who we're playing for a change. And rather than just set up the same way week in, week out, to be able to think, how can we change ourselves this week to throw a few surprises out there, mate, and just not be the same West Ham every single match. So, and by having a left back, that would give us the potential to do that, unless Moyes still sees Cresswell as good enough to do that job. But I think most people are of the opinion that he isn't. He hasn't got the legs to do that no more. And he's obviously in the latter stages of his career, and he shouldn't be our first choice left back. So I still think even if Kostic comes in, I'd like to see someone who could play left back in a flat back four, and somebody who could allow us to play a flat back four. Because let's be honest, we went to a back five and it was not a very good move last time we tried it. So, I don't want us to get all set on that back five way of playing and then stick with that all season if it's not working out. So I think that left back would be good. Maybe we see a couple of loans in and around as well, mate. But who it's going to be at the moment, I'm not 100% sure on.
Yeah, Dabs Kostic, I think that one's close, mate. I think that one's close. Fee seems to be there or thereabouts agreed. he said no to other Champions League clubs, but seems to have a reasonably favourable opinion about us. So I think that one's close, mate. So hopefully we get him over the line and one or two others that we need, really. Alan, how you doing, mate? You all right? Gee, and there's all right. I think Sullivan ain't well, mate. I don't know what's going on. Either he's been hypnotised or something, but someone's got hold of his card, haven't they, Frankie? He's not happy, mate. Right.
Are we splashing the cash though?
Not for him,
I
for
just
his
see
level. Yeah, for
I
his
just
level.
see it a bit different. I don't think we are splashing any cash. I think for the spend we've had in the past few windows and all of that sort of stuff, I just don't, intent to get in the Europa League. I don't know. I still think this is more, and people again don't like this opinion, but for me, we are investing now because we know Rice is going to leave at some point within the foreseeable future, and we need to put a foundation in place that means that when our world-class midfielder goes, we're still able to maintain the level that we've had in the last couple of seasons. I think you take Declan Rice out of that team last season, it's a very, very different picture. I think we're, bottom half of the table, and I think we struggle. So it will be a massive loss when he goes. And I think the investment isn't an ambitious investment. I think it's a put foundation in to make sure that the club is going to be stable and hopefully sustain a sort of top 7 finish when Declan Rice leaves.
I think you're right. If you look at our league from since Christmas, everyone, I reckon we were in the bottom 10. I think Newcastle were in the top 5. A few others did well. Arsenal kind of nearly got in the top 4 for a great run last season. But as Frankie's mentioned many times, those North London gits, they've got Champions League and Europa, and let's see how the both squads do with European football, isn't it, mate? So,
and if Sullivan was that desperate, and I put this out on Twitter and people really kicked off, what people have to understand, normally when I post something that's quite controversial, it ain't even me that said it. I had a phone call with Ginger Steve, who used to be on the Claret and Blue TV channel, and he's old school as West Ham comes. He's from Stepney. He's as West Ham can be. And he turned around to me and said, if Sullivan was that, because loads of people are saying, finally they're showing ambition. If Sullivan was that ambitious, his question to me was, why didn't we spend in January? Why didn't we try and push on in January? And everyone comes back, it's so much harder in January. It's this, it's that. Everyone costs more money. The money wasn't there in January. If the money's there now, they could have had the money in January by either the board putting the money in because they know the TV money's coming. They could have given us an interest-free loan or whatever. Kretinsky, if it's his money, he could have given us an interest-free loan until the TV money landed. You could go and ask the bank for it if you know the TV money is landing in a few months' time. So that if the money's there now, the money could have been in there in January. Everyone's saying it's more difficult in January, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. At the end of the day, Tottenham managed to go and sign 2 players pivotal to making their season, getting into the Champions League, and didn't break the bank to do it and didn't overpay. So I think the point that was trying to be made through that question, it was a question. It wasn't me saying, I think we should have spent in January, it's easy to spend in January. That's not what I'm saying. I don't know the ins and outs of football. I don't know how hard it is to do business in January. All I was getting at was somebody on the phone said to me, why didn't we invest in January if we're ambitious? And everyone who sort of knocked it and said, all these excuses what the reason why we didn't, well, Tottenham managed it, and Tottenham managed to achieve Champions League football. If Sullivan was that desperate for Europa League football, mate, we might have got Champions League football if we would have gone and made something happen then. So it was just throwing it out there into the mix and having a difference of debate and a different opinion, which I think is really healthy and important. But unfortunately, everyone kicks off about it and goes mad and calls me negative and says I'm this and I'm that. But that wasn't what I was trying to do. I wasn't trying to be negative. It was just the flip side of the coin. Should we have done a bit more in January? That was all that was being asked.
I think he's reactive, not proactive. So it's obviously someone's jumped up and down, and that's the only time he does it. With Pellegrini, it was what happened in the crowd at Burnley. Then he got a bit afraid. And even he's got experience of what happens when we bought L in the previous January window, and we got within 2 points of the Champions League. So he does know how it works in January, that final. Because I believe that for those winter months, the real business end of the season, I always call it, when the big boys get together, you need that final push and kind of someone new walking through the dressing room to encourage everyone, challenge everyone. You want Frankie, you want someone to challenge you in your life as well. Sometimes we're too comfortable in what we're doing. You see big good players coming through the door January. It gives you that little bit extra and you've seen it. So many players just didn't have any competition, did they? They were going through the motions every game, weren't really being pushed. So hopefully, finally, David's kind of perhaps said a few things and it's working. Mate, I'm going to get told off now. It's like when you don't do your homework. I will definitely, I will even might do a small show tomorrow. So the issue with this, everyone, is that in order to get the code where everyone's after us, because we are going to be doing a fantasy football league for the channel, is that I got to do my team first quickly, and then I'm able to see the league. So I do apologise to everyone again, and I will definitely do it by tomorrow morning. I'll do a show and let you know what the leagues are. Frank, you ever done it, mate? I don't know. You ever done fantasy football league in the past? Or?
Yeah, mate. I'm normally pretty strong. I normally start really strong, and I can have. If you remember, I jumped on a show with you last year, and there was one week that I was the top points, whatever. But mate, life just gets so busy. Sometimes I forget to make my transfers, or things run away with me, and I don't change my captain and this and that. And normally after the first few weeks, I can start slipping down. But I'm going to try, mate. If you're doing a show, I'll try and take it a bit more seriously this year and try and see how well I can do.
Yeah, I'll try to get Mike on and see what's happening with him. We'll do it. I wasn't going to do it. I thought I'd take a year out. Like you said, I don't have to worry about Friday nights, Saturdays, but I will do it. And Dabs, you're right, mate. We're buying some big boys, aren't we, mate? Like Frankie, we go clubbing and we're taking a few of them with us. There's no problem with that. Really, really big team. Oh, has it? Frankie, you'll check for me. More news on Kostic.
No, I did look, mate. I couldn't see anything on the Google search at the moment, so I don't know what news that is. It would be interesting to see. But
afternoon. Happy Hammer. I hope you're all right. Joshua one Broja. Oh, listen. What I'm happy about the Scamacca thing, Frankie, is that we didn't keep waiting for Broja. Like, not bid for Scamacca. Keep waiting and waiting and waiting. But we able to move and said, okay, we're going to go to number 2 and get it over the line. And still with the view that we're not that desperate for him, that we'll still keep asking them, let us know if the position changes. So Broja, I don't know. Do you see it happening? I don't know, on loan?
I can't see it happening now. I think that ship has sailed. Again, I don't think we showed enough intent early on enough. I think sometimes we play our cards too close to our chest to not want to overpay, to not want to show that we're desperate for a player or whatever it may be. And I think, we sometimes we can just be a bit too slow about our business. I think with Broja, if you wanted him, you had to go and get him. And we didn't. And now, unfortunately, it seems like there's a lot of other interest coming from elsewhere. And now I think we're probably going to miss out on that one. So I think we needed to show a bit more intent early on and go and make that one happen if we wanted it. So, but like you say, mate, he's still the unknown. He had a poorer second half to the season. So, was he right for us? I think so. No, not everyone was convinced, mate. I don't think everyone was convinced he was the man for West Ham. So,
yeah, before we move into Scamacca, Dabs, I think that one is, I got a feeling that's going to be close. I think could be close to being done, mate, that one I'm hearing. Close to being done. Finally, I'm not even halfway through the chat yet, but listen, I'm loving the love. It's amazing. I'm going to need a moderator soon. But yeah, keep the comments coming. We'll catch up. But Scamacca, Frankie, while I go through the chat, I know about 3 weeks ago, you wanted him, but deep down, I don't think you thought it was going to happen. Maybe he's, too good for us. And we heard PSG came in late, mate, 12
hours. Not too good. 100% not too good, mate. He played at Sassuolo. If we can't tempt someone out of a club like Sassuolo, then we've got big problems. Never thought he was too good for us. The Di Canio thing not worried me, but it's still in the back of I think a lot of players' minds that we know we needed a striker. I think we're all over the moon that a striker's come in. That is brilliant. We're just concerned that for a player like him, he isn't somebody who's going to burn players for pace, who's going to get in behind. You've got to get ball to his feet. And what Paolo Di Canio was saying is that's a similar situation to Haller. We didn't get ball into his feet inside the box to allow him to finish. He was isolated on his own and didn't have enough players around him to get the ball into him. And I'm just concerned that we're going to use him especially if we played a 5 at the back. I'm just a bit concerned that he will be this isolated centre forward who ends up getting frustrated, who doesn't see much of the ball. And so I'm just hoping we don't do that. And we need players in and around him. We need players close to him. We need players who can feed off of him. And someone's just put in the chat there, we will catch up with that one, saying Haller couldn't be asked. Well, in the first games, like I went to the Watford game where he scored the overhead kick. He could. He was putting himself about big time, and he really did try. He got the ump in the end, and that's not right because we're paying him a wage, and he should have continued to show the same commitment he did in those early days. But I think he got so frustrated in the end that he lost interest, and that's not right, but that's how he was. Scamacca, I think, seems a bit more resilient than that. I think he's got a more of the right sort of attitude to maybe play as a lone striker. But I don't want him as a lone striker, mate. We're West Ham. We need to attack teams. We need to get at teams. I don't want to see us a 5 at the back against Brighton or Southampton or Leeds at home. I want to see us get at teams. So I'm just hoping we can get attackers in and around him, and we can be this really big threat. We can get balls into his feet, and he can put them in the back of the net, mate. We can all see that he can finish when you give him the opportunity. So, yeah, I'm excited for him, mate. We've got a proper centre forward for the first time in a long time. So I'm really, really, really happy about that.
Good. We're going to go into the formations later on, but the idea that we're reasonably linked with Diaz and Cornet is that they are winger/strikers. So like Frank, you've been discussing, you've got the option to play 2 up front if one of these can play up front and also help on the wing. I don't really want to see Bowen up front too much, even though he was okay. I just want to see someone else who's a bit more, because I think Bowen's good on the wing and Antonia's good on the wing. So hopefully, because there's no way, I don't want to go into the season with just Scamacca. We have to get one more in who can play up front, really.
Yeah.
Migsy, how you doing? All right? Oh god! So some of you think in January you weren't sure who was in control of the purse. Was it Sullivan or Moyes, or was it changed around? God knows, mate. We'll never know until they've written a book, haven't they? When they retire, both of them. Oh right, well, right. That's I know Chelsea, and rightly so. I wouldn't. They don't want to sell to us, nor do Man United, because we are in and around them last couple of seasons. I don't think they want to sell it to us, but that's up to them. Real Madrid, Broja, we'll see, mate. But Broja's getting a bit pissed off now. I think he just wants a permanent as well, which I think is great. If that's the attitude from him, he could easily just keep going on loan or sit on the bench and things like that.
Yeah.
Rice and Bone under Kearns or Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, I heard from another, was it podcast or a website, that Terence Brown is, for all the things he's done up and down, he's a true West Ham fan, made his money, he's an accountant, made his money from one or more things in Sussex, holiday camps down south. And I heard, Frank, he's got an amazing West Ham memorabilia collection of cups and trophies and shirts.
Yeah, he probably shafted it all out of our museum, mate.
That's it. Yeah, he took it with him. And he made a lot of money selling it to, I think it was Icelandic back then. And then in return, I think he's the
honorary chairman for life, isn't he?
Yeah, got a ticket and a seat and whenever he wants to come. So that's it, mate. Okay, Dan's like small Twitter chat. Yeah, it's going to pick up the next couple of days. But what I like about what we're trying to do, we're not waiting till the last few days. We're trying to, obviously, Moyes goes, all the managers want the players in now. As soon as you know, you don't want to wait till the last hour, the last day, and things like that, really. There you go, isn't it? Who do we listen to? I like what I've seen of him, especially in terms of he tracks back, he wins the ball, he moves around a lot more than Antonio. But then, yeah, he is 6'5", but he doesn't score that many with his head. But he's good at controlling it on his chest and better touch. So hopefully it sticks to him and he can bring more players in. And like you said, with all those tattoos, he's hopefully more of an aggressive man who can make teams hurt where we need to, really. That was a good comment, wasn't it, Haller? Migsy's going on about. He's gone to Dortmund. Oh, and again, Haller, once again, wish you the best of health, my man.
Yeah, 100%. Mate.
Yeah, we'll carry on. We talk garbage all day about football, but yeah, make sure you look after yourself and get back, mate. Okay, so Davis thinks we have changed
But this is, and I'm not saying Davis is wrong, right? I'm not saying Davis is wrong.
Yeah.
But this is where our fans and Twitter opinions and social media opinions, I get confused of it all, because Antonio really dipped in form back end of last year, and everyone says it's because he didn't see the ball. But this comment saying that we're a better team and he will see more of the ball than Hilaire, i.e. Scamacca. Well, either our midfield do create or they don't. Like, it can't be both. And I don't know, it's really tough to work out what the situation is. There's this flip-flop opinion at times in social media. And, some people say we don't create. Some people say we do create. Yeah, I just, all I'm getting at there is I just hope that it doesn't matter whether or not we're the same team, not the same team. I think Bowen's going to love playing with a proper centre forward. I think the person who's going to benefit the most at this whole situation is Jared Bowen. I think you'll see Bowen kick on even more now, and I think you'll see him be a fantastic football player, because I think he'll pick up pieces off Scamacca with his presence, his height. I think he'll get flick-ons, and I think Bowen will get in and around him and pick up the pieces. So I think Bowen's good, but also assists. I think Bowen's going to have a man to find in the box all the time. I think Scamacca will pick up great positions in the box. I think Bowen, when he picks up the ball out wide, he will be looking for him all the time. And I think Bowen will feed him brilliantly. So I think Bowen's really going to benefit from Scamacca being in the middle.
Yeah, before we move on from Scamacca onto the next topic, just want to show everyone, I did last couple of shows ago, Frankie, that this is the Italian League top scorers last season. We have our beloved Arnie at number 8. With 14 goals, mate. You got Scamacca just behind Tammy Abraham, and then you've got Vlahovic. So he's in good company there, mate, isn't he? He finished the 6th highest goal scorer, and yeah, right next to Tammy Abraham, who God knows what he's worth now. You got Edin Dzeko there at 10. So I think, yeah, I'm excited. We've got a striker. I know De Kenya wasn't too keen, but I hope that was just a misstatement on the media. I don't know. It's not going to look good if
but the thing is, I think when you read it again, you can media. You know what they're like. They pick what they want out of what somebody says. I don't think De Canio said don't sign him. I think De Canio's concerns, like I said, was more don't use him like you did Hilaire, or otherwise you're going to get the same outcome. Just make sure that you play to his strengths. I think that's all Di Canio was saying. If you're going to sign someone like him, make sure you play him differently to how you did your last striker. So
yeah, evening, Darren. Hope you're well, mate. And the last question on Scamacca for you, mate. It seems to be 30 million plus 5 million add-ons, and that's there or thereabouts for a player like that, is it these days, mate? Fee-wise?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of fair, really, on that one. Kostic, yeah, we've spoken about him, the offer. He's 29, 48 caps, Serbia, and I'll show you later on how we think he's going to fit in. Zelensky, I was interesting to hear you felt this is not quite going to plan, didn't you, Frankie? Any reasons behind that thinking? That this
I
might
don't know,
not
mate.
Yeah.
He's done well with dealing with Russia so far, and I think the media are saying you don't know what to believe. Are Russia making advances or not, mate? But at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Again, they're looking at 30, 40 million. Is he worth that much? Again, I'll show people where I think he's going to play. And him coming in, again, he's an attacking guy, doing the kind of job that Moyes hoping that Benrahma doesn't, more often than not, doesn't do, really. So that's the kind of thing on him. And before we go on to Mr. Maxwell Cornet, let's have a go through the chat again. Peter Moyes said he will give you... You cheeky son. Oh, mate. I mean, Man City, I'll probably see him on the bench, mate. I don't know, because he's not really got enough time to play any pre-season, has he, mate? Really?
No, it's a tricky one, isn't it, mate?
Got to look into that, mate. You've got to look into that. Migsy, got to look into that, because there's so many players out there, isn't it, mate? I think we do create, but get lost. I think we were creating up to January. Then something, obviously, they just got tired. It was the same team. Vlasic didn't kick on, and Tony just didn't want to play there anymore. He's like, all right, mate, I helped out, but I don't really want to do it anymore. And they just needed a couple of players to lift them, mate. So, and there was only one kind of way of playing. It's like Frankie said, every team is the same setup, same lineup, same players, same way of playing. And somehow it's because we're really, really fit, really strong, organised, that we managed to bulldoze our way to reasonable amount of goals that we did it. But our set pieces are dried up. We couldn't cross. We couldn't do any free kicks or corners. So that's what we're trying to improve, is trying to work out different ways of scoring. So we're looking at people who could provide good corners, free kicks, people who can create. We haven't seen creativity since a mate Lanzini's peak time, isn't it? I haven't seen any skillful, great football in a while, have we? Down the middle. So that's kind of what it is, mate. That's what it is, and that's what we're hoping to sign a typical West Ham player, really. Yeah, we're going to be big team, mate. But we hope the pace doesn't go. We just don't want to be too slow though with that height. But to be fair, that Onana, he does put a shift in. He with those long legs, he can cover ground quickly. Well, annoyingly, going back to Bone again, mate. That Arsenal keep on. I think they've made an inquiry a couple of days ago, and then I think Liverpool are kind of will there or thereabouts always be behind, mate. Arsenal, I thought that was a bit of a no-no, always, wasn't it, mate? Arsenal trying to grab him for 40 million.
Yeah, I think so, mate.
I mean, they bought 2 players in, which are quite good, but there you go.
Yeah.
So Maxwell Cornet, everyone, like I mentioned in a couple of programs, it's him and Diaz who are kind of both left wingers / forwards, really. Around the same money. Diaz a bit cheaper, around 13 million, isn't he, mate? And this is about 17, I think, clause in his contract. Again, it's perhaps. Actually, no, it's nothing to do with Lingard thing. I don't think. I think Zelensky's the one where if we got Lingard over the line, perhaps not gone for him. I'm not sure if we covered Lingard last time. Frankie, did you have your chance to say what happened in the end?
I'm not mentioning his name, not giving him the attention, mate. Not giving him the attention.
Yeah. What do you think about Cornet then? He looks like he's
I like him.
Front. Yeah, you like him?
No, I like him.
Yeah.
I think he's a good player, mate. I think he's just that. Is he a world beater? Probably not. But I think he's ideal from the context that we lack pace, and he's got pace. And like we said earlier on about having different options and different styles of play, I think the thing that we're probably missing the most at the moment is someone who's got blistering pace to cause some defence's problems, and I think he's got that. So no, I'd be really, really happy to see him come over. For me, really good signing, played in the Premier League. Yeah, and Peter's probably right there. He's a one good game in 3. I do agree with that. But I think we're getting to the stage now in the transfer window where we're no longer going to get big money signings. Like you said, it's a 15 to 17 million pound signing. But having him as an option in the squad without breaking the bank and paying too much money, I think in terms of pace, I would be happy with his signing, mate, to be honest.
I mean, what we're trying to show on the grid here, mate, is what I'm thinking, the people being linked with how we're going to play. It probably will look like a flat back 4, but if you bring Kostic in and Kafal, they can bomb up and down a bit more, is I think what you want to see from our future fullbacks. And then I had a feeling why he's after Onana, not Souček, is that when these two bomb on and you leave a bit of room at the back, you do need a stronger CDM in there than Souček, perhaps, is what I'm thinking of. And then with Diaz or Cornet here, again, you can play 2 up front, or they can cover Zelensky in the middle. But then the bench, there's no Antonio, mate. No Souček, no Benrahma. So again, it's a stronger bench, isn't it? If you bring those number of players.
I think so, mate. I think so. I think it's the only thing with that formation there, I'd rather see Rice in that defensive position. I know it's not a popular opinion because people think Rice has got more than him than just being a CDM. But I just think if you're playing that where you're playing with a halfback, i.e. someone who moves into CDM when you're attacking and moves back into defence when you're defending, it's quite an intelligent position to have to play. And Rice reads the game so well that I think he's brilliant at it. And there's not many intelligent CDMs that I think you can get away with it with. I think sometimes they get caught out. They don't know when to drop. They don't know when to push on. They don't know how to read the game as well. It is a real difficult position to play that. That's why you don't see people play with that very often. But Rice has got the intelligence to play that role, and he's very, very good at it. And I would trust him to play that role. There's not many other players I'd trust to do it. So, but then that does mean you take out he's driving forward, then runs when he picks up the ball. And sometimes you're struggling to get up the pitch and he grabs it by the scruff of the neck and goes, come on, I'm going to go on one of my driving runs. So, but it's going to be interesting to see how we line up, mate. I don't think any of us really know. And that's what I really like. We've made signings that have given us questions. sometimes it's always like for like, and you get the same old West Ham. I don't think any of us know how we're going to line up this early part of the season. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Moyes is going to play it, mate.
Because all of these players, okay, Scamacca's an out and out. He doesn't play anywhere else. But if you're looking at Diaz, Cornet, Kostic, or Zelensky, who they can play in two positions, like you said. We can switch the formation a bit, and we can have reasonably good bench. Yeah, if you look at our bench, Antonio, I think it's perhaps you or someone else mentioned that Antonio as a sub is a great option, mate. After 70 minutes, isn't he, mate? 75 minutes. If we're not quite able to break through, and you've got Antonio coming on, what do you think? You think that's a good role for him in the number of games, isn't it?
Yeah.
And to give him a break, freshen him up, and things like that, really. Oh, sorry, you're talking about that. He used to play for United, didn't he? Janus, is it? Yeah, he's 27.
Yeah.
I think he's free transfer. I'm not sure. It's a lot of names, but what I'm happy about, Alex, is that we're kind of actively trying to do things like bring players in, and if they're not, and then actually open discussions with two players playing the same position to get one of them over the line, mate, instead of chasing the one, isn't it, all along, and then kind of nothing happening in the end, really. I think we hopefully when he comes in, let's not try to think with our Antonio or Haller hats and fresh and back him, and hopefully you'll be fine, mate. Yeah, but yeah, we have been scarred in the past up front, mate, especially under this Sullivan. But just one more question of formation, mate. For me, following West Ham is all about taking risks when you're attacking. So if you've got this aggressive high line, shall I say, that perhaps Liverpool City can afford to do and do get away with it, I wouldn't mind risking a bit if it means, like you said, more creativity, more kind of forwardness, and like you said, there's going to be gaps in the back, but then hopefully Agard comes back, and what you get with Zuma and Agard is they're reasonably mobile, they can move, they're fairly pacey, and I'll be happy with that instead of a boring black four where you got Craswell ain't got the legs to go over the halfway line. Fredericks used to.
But that's the point, mate. What you've just said there is spot on. You couldn't get away with it before because you couldn't trust Cresswell to get back. You couldn't trust Dawson, as good as he is. You cannot have space in behind him because if people get in behind him, there's no way he's catching them. No. So we haven't had the personnel to be able to be, and to be fair, I think Moyes showed you a little glimpse of it against Glasgow Rangers in the friendly. He showed you how we would look when we play a high line, and we conceded 3 goals in about 5 minutes. So I think we need, as much as I'm with you, and I would love to see West Ham play more expansive football, to play, a more exciting attacking fashion of football. You've got to have the people that allow you to do it, and I don't think we're quite there yet, mate. So but I would like to see us kick on a little bit more than we have been in previous seasons.
Craswell can do it, but he usually gets sent off because he usually grabs him by the throat because he can't catch him up. This name is coming since last night, isn't it? Diallo, PSG, mate, can play as a fullback, I think, or a centre back as well. But yeah,
it's coming out of nowhere again. If I'm honest, mate, I don't know much about him at all.
I haven't looked up. All I know is that Moyes been after him for a couple of years, but he's never been able to touch him up, and now he's kind of available. So it is a funny window where, you think a player ain't going to be available, but he is, because there's only 2 windows to force through a move, isn't there, everyone? So let me just go on to something else in a minute. Hang on, where's it gone? I'll go on to that in a minute. Let me just go through.
Oh, Diallo. Sorry, I thought it was Diallo. Yeah, Diallo. I know Diallo, yeah.
Yeah, I think he can play in a couple of positions at the back. 17 million they're talking about. Is it, Peter? Oh, we had a Burnley fan, didn't we? When I was Cornet, we had a Burnley fan, and I was trying to ask him, because it looked like we looked at a couple of the formations of how these players played in, and Scamacca, what I found out about him, Frankie, was that he has played in a 4-2-3-1 most of the time last season as the only one up front. And then with Cornet, he's played as one of the 2 strikers up front for Burnley. But in his description, it says he is a winger as well. So I wanted to know from Burnley fans, how many times has he been utilised on the wing, really? But what I've seen of him, like you, mate, I'm okay with, mate.
Look at that incredible man on the screen there, mate. He is just what I would give for a manager like that at West Ham. A winner, someone who is never afraid to go and win a game, and is proven that in those crunch games he goes and wins no matter what. I'd give anything for a manager like him. What he's done at Roma is unbelievable. Do you see the reveal of Dybala the other night, and how many thousands of people were in the street and seeing him, and he was sitting down in front of them while they were all like singing his name and singing his song. Hey, unbelievable what he's done for Roma. I'd have given anything for him to be our manager, mate. He's a proper winner, that man. I love him. I do.
I do like him. I never used to, but I've grown to like him. Especially,
quality, mate.
Done a great job at Spurs. I always be grateful for him for that and things.
Hey, the last time Man United won something was with that man. You know, all these people knock him. He's won something everywhere he's been, other than Poxy Spurs. But you know, everyone says he does a bad job. When you see that video of him, when he says about his time at Man United, and he goes, you know, all them, he reels off the Man City players, and he reels off the Liverpool players, and he goes, these are investments from the past. He said they're doing well now because from the past they invested well. And he said, basically, with Man United, he's been left with is a pile of trash. And that's why it's harder to try and achieve things with Man United at that time. But, mate, there's no question, wherever that man goes, he makes people win football games. And not just football games, but the big crunch games. That's my one reservation about Moyes. It's not a show with me unless I throw a negative comment out there. So I'm going to throw it out there.
Yeah, go.
I just am not sure that when it comes to those real big crunch games where it means you achieve something, I don't know if David Moyes has got it in him to get us over the line, to win us a trophy, or make us, you know, really properly achieve something, real success, not getting to the semi-final of a European competition or finishing 7th or whatever it may be. I mean, silverware. Yeah, I'm not sure he's got it, but I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong, because I'd love to see West Ham win something. We're probably closer than we've been for a long time with the current form and squad we got at the moment. So let's hope he can pull it out the bag. But I just don't see that character in him, that it's when the going gets tough and it's a big crunch game. I don't see him having enough about him to win it. But
maybe you're thinking, because I'm thinking of Southgate when you mentioned those words.
Southgate's another one. So you'll never win something with Southgate. Southgate will never win anything, mate. He had the best opportunity in the world to win something for England. The best two unbelievable opportunities, the World Cup and the Euros, and he blew it. They were unbelievable opportunities. They were. Look at what Italy did. They didn't even qualify for the next World Cup, mate. That's how good they are. They are absolutely a bang average side. And he come out in that final and absolutely bottled it. He played so defensive. He didn't bring on our pace, our attackers. He didn't bring on any of our youngsters. He kept Kane in the middle, which their defenders loved playing against Kane. That he was perfect for them. They would have hated the pace of Saka getting in behind them and stuff like that. But Southgate bottled it, mate. And people like Mourinho, he don't bottle nothing, mate. He's just a winner.
I think England started that game. I mean, we're going off tangent, but we started with 6-7 defensive players in that final against the oldest team in the tournament.
Yeah,
and we were at home in every game. Didn't have to travel. If you're not going to win it, then mate, then God knows.
That's right.
And going back to Roma, we have to be careful what we say, because in my household, we're kind of, my son, especially Lazio fans here, so you have to be careful. But what a lovely looking trophy, everyone. I think it's better than the Champions League, mate. I think. But we'll talk about it in a minute, because the draw is, everyone. Let me just quickly go through the chat, and then we're nearly at the end. We're going to go just one quick look at the conference, and then Kostic, Cornet. Yeah, in my little prediction thing, that's what I'm thinking. Or Diaz can do that kind of thing. What do you think about Diaz, Frankie? I can't remember what you said about him. Do you like it? No, you don't like him, do you? If I remember. You're not sure.
Diaz?
Yeah.
No. So, again, this is where I just really struggle with people twisting things. Diaz, I never had a problem with Diaz. I had a problem with him being our number one signing of a striker. I didn't want him to be the main striker we signed. Yeah. As a backup striker, I've got all the time in the world. And Dab's just put in there, you might say Moyes is not the person to take us forward. I didn't say that. Moyes has already taken us forward. Leaps and bounds forward, Moyes has taken us. Why is no one happy being at this level? The reason I'm not happy being at this level, mate, is because I've supported West Ham all of my life. I've never seen us win a thing. And I would just love to just one time in my lifetime just see us win something. And I would, mate, that's it. And, you know, life is very short. There's a lot of things going on in this world at the moment. There's a lot of bad things. We've seen a lot of bad things happen. That West Ham fan the other day who you put up on the show, the American guy, you know, it's been close to home with my dad, ending up really poorly with cancer and so on. Life's short, mate. and I want to see us win something now while I can see us win something in my lifetime. I'm never going to be happy just ticking along in 7th or 8th. I want to just one trophy. It's all I'm asking for all the years of following West Ham up and down the country, of supporting the club, investing all my money and time and everything. I've had amazing times. I've met brilliant people, made so many friends. I'd never, ever change it for the world. And if we don't win something, believe me, it ain't the end of the world. I don't care if West Ham are in the Premier League, the Championship, whatever. West Ham's bigger than that to me. But it would make my life if I can just see West Ham win one trophy, mate. That's it.
I think you're right, mate. And what I was going to say is, I forgot what I was going to say. There we go. How about that? Anyway, Peter, like we said, David Moyes, you've got to be cautious. You need 2 goalkeepers on the bench, man. You need it. Harry got the I mean, I don't want. It's for his benefit. I don't want to be remembered for keep shouting at him at the end. Yeah, I want Cressy to go because he's done a good number of years service for us. He's a good lad around the dressing room. So Cressy, train's gone. Cressy, the boat's gone for him, mate. There we go. Frankie Peter thinks you're young Ray Winston, mate. There we go.
Not about that.
There we go, mate. There we go. We've got 4 in. I think we've got 4 or 5 in. So not bad. Let's wait. We're again linked with 3 more. So yeah, Dean, not bad for us, mate. We're doing all right. Yes, playing catch up, innit, Alex, mate? Playing catch up. Yeah, we used to. It's because Antonio used to go missing shopping, didn't he, in the corner flag? Like, where's Antonio? Antonio's gone somewhere else. So at least we'll have someone who's always there, pivotal. So when you're running towards the area, looking up, you got someone to aim for, you know. So that's the kind of thing we're trying to fix, really, everyone. Milenkovic, I don't think that thing's ever going to happen, mate. It's a bit like Good Johnson, mate. How many times were we going to get Good Johnson in, Frankie? Do you remember? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
He said yes a couple of times, and we got linked with him 3, 4. Just, I don't know, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yep, Fulham are in for him. Moyes has more or less said 14, 15, 16 million, just take it. But we're kind of, well, we're stuck now, aren't we, really, for now? But there we go. Yeah, let's wait, mate. Yeah, we got the what do you call it? The old Charity Shield tomorrow, I think. You going? You go sometimes Wembley, didn't you, mate? You going?
I do go to a few of the Wembley games. I'm not this one though, mate. I've got a family do tomorrow, so I'll be doing that instead. But yeah, I do sometimes get along to Wembley when I can.
I do like something what the club's doing. Again, the injury, how long he's out for, it's a secret. I like that. I know as fans we want to know, and we used to tell that the whole world. So all they've said is the operation went well, and we hope to see him quick. And Frankie, I kind of like that secret thing around the club, don't you? I don't know.
No, it's better, mate. That's how it should be. We shouldn't be airing our dirty laundry in public all the time and releasing stuff and whatever else. No, it's good.
Okay, Monaco, Dortmund, yeah. Bit of pedigree in there, isn't it, mate? Okay, I think we've gone through that. Peter, 3-5-2. Yeah, option of different systems, mate. Doesn't have to. We're not saying concrete is going to be that or that, but the players that are coming in. Okay, under 19. Water carriers. Oh no, mate. You need 2 good players in every position. You need a good squad, don't you, mate? I mean, sometimes.
Yeah, if you want to play in Europe, you do, and if you want to compete in your domestic competitions as well, then yeah, you do.
I think the other thing was obviously when I used to look on the back of the program, mate. Our list ended halfway, didn't it? And the other team,
all the way down. I remember those days, mate. I remember those days.
Or they used to fill them in with kids you don't know who they are. I hope you're right, mate. Okay, let me close that down. And then obviously, yeah, just going to let everyone know that the draw. So I was looking at this, mate, and Frankie, I had to spend a lot of time trying to understand this. I got confused, and I know I easily do sometimes. So everyone, the draw, let me go into it. Okay, so the draw is at 1:00 UK time, Tuesday, 2nd of August. So I'm probably going to do a show live, and it's called a playoff. This is the playoff draw, everyone. This is what they're calling it, and I was writing it down for everyone. So, Frankie and everyone, this playoff draw, there's 44 teams in it, and they come from all different directions. We're part of what they call the main path, slightly seeded. So you've got West Ham, you've got Villarreal, you've got Fiorentina, you've got Cologne, you've got Nice from France, and then you've got a couple of teams coming from, they call it the qualifying draw, and then Europa. So teams are dropping in from Europa League qualifying draws, and then you're getting 27 teams from the last conference round that we weren't part of. So all we need to know, I don't want to confuse everyone, all we need to know is, it's the playoff round. We're slightly seeded. It's going to be a knockout, 44 teams. And then, mate, going to, let me have a look at this, 44 teams. Yeah, that's it, yeah. So the next round, which will be called the group stage, everyone, will be, bloody hell, was it 32? Yeah, that's it. So it's going to be 32 in the group stage. So obviously I said 44 teams. So 22 go into that 32 group stage, and 10 come in from the Europa League again, Frankie, to form that 32. Then obviously once we've got 32, then simple maths, it's 16, 8, 4 and 2 really. So just a straight knockout, mate, and hopefully, unless I've missed a boat, we'll see if I can hopefully get tickets for that, mate. So any quick sort of comments on that? Like, I'm not going to go into the coefficient of how teams get in there. It's made for countries and teams who are not the big countries. I ain't going to go into that. It's kind of mind-boggling, but sufficient to say that we just have to play this playoff game, two-legged, to get into the group stage, mate. And then I don't know if you've got any comments about the conference. I want to win it, mate. Same as you. It's a trophy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, mate. Mate, whatever. Just bring them on. I had such fun last year traveling abroad, getting on that plane, landing in Lyon, days in Seville, just all of it, mate. I loved every single minute of it. I'm finally feeling like I've recovered. I'm sort of almost recharged and ready to go again. Mate, I don't care how it happens, where they come from, what this blooming coefficient means. They just tell me who we've got and let West Ham go and run through them, and let's all go on another lovely European tour and take over some other European cities and go and run riot again, mate. That's what it's all about. So no, I'm just looking forward to it, mate. Just bring it on. I don't like to overthink it, don't like to over confuse it, don't care when teams come in, when teams go out. Just tell me when the draw is. I'll watch the draw, tell me what team we've got, and then let's get on the computer and book up overpriced flights to cities with overpriced hotels, with overpriced beer, and go and enjoy it, mate. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to it all over again.
The finals in the Czech Republic, so I cheekily had a look at that already. I used to have I got Liverpool family friends, Frankie, who always obviously book final tickets for the Champions League, and the bloody sods, it does happen for them, really. So let me just go through the comments. We've got a minute left and we'll close off. Sorry, Downs, go back to your comment again. Of course, it's human nature. If we win it, Frankie, we want to win more next year. It's normal, isn't it? We're not going to...
Mate, as West Ham fans, we've always wanted a little bit more. Like, we just do. That's how we are, because we've got such a good history, and we always believe that we're the sleeping giants who should be bigger than and achieving more than what we ever achieve. So yeah, we will want more, but it never bothers me when we're not achieving. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I sit here, when we all come on here and we moan and we throw our toys out of our pram and we have something to say about it. But like I said, mate, one of the funnest seasons I ever had, I went to every single game when we was in the Championship, both times. And I loved every single minute of playing in the Championship. I'm not saying I want to be in the Championship before people say that, because I don't. But I loved it. Proper football, real football grounds, your hardcore only people who are going. I absolutely loved it, mate. So whether it be in the Europa Conference League, the Europa League, whether it be whatever, we're there, no matter what, mate, and that's it.
I think that Alan Pardew first season in the Championship was great. I mean, I was all worried. We lost all the big names, but the bloke built a whole new team with new heroes, wasn't it? Harewood, Zamora, Rio Coca and Mullins and bloody all these players at the back, and Gabudon and Collins. So yeah, we kind of are. Left back, yep, I think Frankie knows left back is our priority, mate, and we are being linked with left backs, to be fair.
Yeah.
Across the ball to himself, Peter.
That is very, very true. He does do that. If he ain't seeing the ball, he drifts into all sorts of weird places, and then we don't have a striker in the middle. So it's a very, very, very valid point, that.
Yeah, we don't swear on this channel, but anyway. Only joking, mate. Sonny.
Gio sent me a new T-shirt today, so Gio's all right. He's in my good books.
Good lad.
I don't know how he's going to find a T-shirt that fits me. I need like 5XL, so I don't know how he's going to do that. But we'll see.
Anyway, hours up. You've been brilliant in the chat, mate. So we've covered so many things: signings, what we're going to do, what's going to happen, Europa Conference, and many, many names, and especially the chat's been great. So, Frankie, thank you for your help, mate. And again, like you said, yeah, I've got a wedding to go to tomorrow. I think my friend's brother's getting married, so we're going to that. And then this later on today, yeah, just got a few things to do outside, and yeah, might get the rum out a bit early, and that's it, mate. Yeah, so hope you have a lovely week, and we'll catch up next week, mate. And maybe, what do you think? Another player next week? I reckon.
Yeah, another player next week, mate. 100%. But yeah, if you're doing the live stream for the draw, mate, I'll jump on for that one as well, because that'll be fun seeing who we get. So
yeah, so draw is at 1 o'clock next Tuesday. We'll go live about 12:30, 1:45, something like that. I'll give you a shout, mate. So thanks again, everyone. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. It's going through the roof. Fastest growing channel out there. We're upsetting a few of the old boys. Keep it going. Take care. Come on, you irons.
see you later, mate.